The return YouTube dislike extension is trash, and I'm really tired of nobody else talking about it. YouTube removed their dislike system in 2021. It was pretty recent, and at least in my mind, 2021 was like a year ago, I think. There was quite the freak out from the community. The community did not like this. Yeah, what's up with YouTube getting rid of the dislike? This post also got a lot of traction. I mean, you can look up, the internet was not happy that YouTube was removing the dislike. Mainly because if you go into a video that's trying to teach you something like science, arts, crafts, anything with computers, it was really nice to be able to quickly glance at the dislike bar and see if you could tell like 100% sure that this video was like lying to you. But instead of keeping this helpful system around, YouTube wanted to go in a different direction for a reason that many people theorized, and I think is actually kind of true, which is that if you look at the list of most disliked YouTube videos right here, the YouTube Rewind 2018, this is the last one they ever made after making it for like 8 years. It is the most disliked video ever. I think YouTube saw this and correctly identified that other brands might be a little scared to post on YouTube because users have so much power to just rail against something. Like another example that I just thought of right now, I don't know if you remember, but let me pull it up. Yeah, there it is. The most downvoted comment on Reddit of all time of EA being money hungry. Brands don't really like when users can materialize negative feedback against them. However, I will say with this focus on brand sensitivity to user feedback, this was kind of hyper fixated on when they were removing dislike. And I feel like a lot of us didn't really look at the other side of why YouTube might be doing this, because it's not their first time removing features. Something that nobody really cared about at the time that it was killed was video responses, because almost nobody clicked them. I mean, I don't know if you remember the time of, let me pull them up. Oh my God. Dude, there's a Wikipedia article. That's fucking hilarious. Oh no, no. Oh, this is so bad. But yeah, this is exactly what Reply Girls were. Is basically they were just trying to bait thirsty dudes into clicking on their videos underneath another successful video. Back to features that YouTube's removed. Favorites. It used to be that your favorites playlist was one of the best ways to get someone pushed on the homepage. Early YouTube, there would be raffles that content creators would do to one of the people who put the video on their favorites. So the front page was just filled with videos that were begging people to add them to favorites. It was fucking terrible. And I'm glad that they removed this feature. YouTube also used to have a 5-star rating system. And while users didn't like the removal of dislikes, a group of people who didn't like the removal of dislikes even more were creators. So, this video is from CopyZilla, upset about it. This video is from Marquise Brownlee, also upset about it. This video is from Ludwig, and this was probably the best video about it, and he was also against the removal of dislike. And most tragically, this video, Neutral Response, was really killed by this change. Like, it's 4 seconds, let me just play it.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
And it used to have a perfectly balanced dislike ratio. I think Emperor Lemon made a video on it. It was pretty good. However, back to the topic at hand, in the wake of videos like this one by Ludwig, many creators encourage their audience to go download the YouTube Return Dislike extension, which is what this video is about, because it's fucking bad. It's really bad. It's bad. It's like, it is worse than not having dislikes, in my personal opinion, and I'd like to set out the case for why. So it recently got a lot of attention because Mr. Beast, okay, we've all probably seen the Mr. Beast controversy, but he went through quite a bit of it, and his first post after, I think, the second dog pack video was the one in the nuclear bunker, and it was pretty notable. It went kind of big on Twitter because people noticed that it had more dislikes than likes, which was crazy. 1.4 million dislikes before 1.2 million likes. It really kind of was used to spread the scope of the drama and how bad this could be for Mr. Beast. I mean, even Keemstar, who's never lied, he never actually, he's like a source of internet truth. If you don't know of Keemstar, he's like the Walter Cronkite of this. Oh, the dogs know I was fucking lying. Okay, this dude's the scum of the earth. However, even fucking Keemstar had to tweet out a correction after Mr. Beast posted the real numbers, showing that 99.1% liked the video. So what was going on? What went wrong? When this shit with the Mr. Beast dislike ratio went down, I knew that it was complete crap from the absolute beginning. And that's not because I'm like smarter than anyone or anything. It's because I had a previous experience with the return dislike extension that told me a lot about its accuracy and how much it should be relied on. So I made this video on my main channel, which looked at a lot of like right-wing conservative alternatives to like left-wing social media and free speech media in general, looked at like what free speech on the internet causes, and then finally used that analysis to look at the future of Elon's Twitter. And to say this video aged well would be an understatement. I mean, I completely predicted like so many of Elon's future moves. And that's not because like I'm a genius or anything, or my third eye was open or shit like that. It's because like Elon is like a literal child. Like, you know that picture that Dr. Disrespect posted? Like that's Elon. Elon's at this side of the board with the checkers pieces. However, as I learned, when you go after like an established figure like Elon Musk, when you have 0 subscribers like I did when this video was posted, people get very mad at you, especially when the algorithm pushes the video to the wrong people. This video stayed at almost 0 views for about 2 months because I had 0 subscribers, so it didn't get pushed to anyone. And then eventually the YouTube algorithm figured out that this video was quite good, and it pushed it to the 2 types of people most interested in content about the alt-right, which is people that enjoy watching the alt-right getting owned and taking L's, and, of course, the alt-right. I could tell the video found the alt-right not only because they were leaving like rude, homophobic, racist, like all that kind of comments, they were also disliking the video and using the return dislike extension. And this is the reason that I knew that the Mr. Beast like dislike controversy was completely overblown, because every time somebody commented the number of dislikes that the video supposedly had, it was almost always like twice or 1,000 more than the number that I had in YouTube Studio. Thankfully, eventually YouTube realized that the alt-right doesn't really like this video or the rest of my channel, and started pushing it to people who would enjoy it a lot more, giving the video quite the second wind, if I do say so myself. And while the comments in the audience of this video have returned to like a much more normal crowd, the question in my mind still remains, why were the dislikes so outsized compared to what they really were? If I had to guess the way it worked, I bet that they were finding the like percentage of like to dislike ratio of the people who use their extension, and then like multiplying that by the public like count to get like an actual dislike count, which was a blind guess. But then I found this on their website. So this is exactly how they're doing it. Now, the problem with that is that when you do this, you've kind of self-selected a group that is much more likely to value their ability to give negative feedback. And in this particular case, I found an old College Humor bit that kind of illustrates what was going on.
Can I see the demo information, please? Thank you. Okay, so I've noticed something. This survey was conducted at a Klan rally. Do you think that there's a problem with that?
And I want to make this crystal clear, because I don't think I said this explicitly, and the whole video is about how I dislike the dislike extension, is the reason that I think it's so bad is if you look at their formula, you'll quickly realize that they're not individualizing their feedback because they can't. I don't think they have the capacity to, and if they did that, I think their users would be quite upset at the amount of data that they would be storing on the individual. However, because they don't do that, their supposed dislike ratio on any video that they try and throw up a rating for is always going to skew further towards like people who fit these demographics. As more people join the site and don't use the extension, these counts are going to get more and more inaccurate as the user base for this skews more towards people who are just much more likely to think that their disliking of the video is any kind of adequate feedback. And it leaves me with the question, do we really need dislikes? I know that sounds crazy, but the comments are always there. And while those can be moderated, I understand that if you want a creator to do something better and improve, there are a lot better way of leaving real feedback. Like, I know personally, the comments about my phrasing of the stuff from Women in Gaming and the thing I said about Anita Sarkeesian Actually, I want to dive further into that because if you don't know me already, this phrase from a white man might set off your danger alarm, and I don't blame you. In the video, I called Anita Sarkeesian brave for her work about women in gaming, and to be honest, I know the proper amount about her for a well-adjusted person in society, which is almost nothing. I watched this series about what she went through, but I think what gamers don't understand is that their rage against a woman with a good overarching point and poorly supported arguments only really served to reinforce her narrative in the eyes of the industry. And the fact that this rage against her remains today, I still get comments like this, shows that even though her series is dated and her arguments are wrong and she hasn't played all of the games, she always had a good point. That's what I should have said in the main video, and it's a take I only arrived at after good people left thought out, nuanced comments. If they had just disliked the video, their feedback would have been indistinguishable from that of the racist who left a dislike in the first minute. It would have been completely disregarded, and I wouldn't have improved as a content creator. Honestly, one of my favorite comments of all time, let me pull it up. This one, I wish that this was one of the first comments that people saw when they look at my videos. Like, this is a wonderful piece of feedback because immediately he says soy, right? Which I know he means as an insult, but it tells you a lot about who I am and who doesn't like this video. Like, if you're someone who thinks that soy is an effective insult, you're probably not going to like a video that somebody calls the creator a soyan. However, I think there's also the other side to that coin where people like me on the internet know that anyone who calls someone else a soy is probably a fucking loser. And any video that makes someone angry enough to just comment soy is probably something that I would fucking love to watch. This is brilliant feedback because it tells you so much about what the video is like and what the people who don't like it have to say about it. Honestly, my hottest take of the video is that I don't miss dislikes at all. In fact, I think it was probably the right decision to take them away. It just gave people like an angry outlet to rail against someone when, you know, YouTube only really wants watch time. If you want something to be pushed down in the algorithm, or if you don't like something, the best thing you can do is just click off the video. Like, I think that this is the best video on the platform. However, I can't really do much to help it other than watch it a second, third, fourth, and fifth time. Because if you measure how good a video is by user interactions, those being like comment, like, subscribe, the most effective way to get people to do those things, and this has been known for like a really long time, is to ask them. To do those things. That's how you get them to do those things. That's why the original system of using user feedback and favorites to push videos on the main front page was so bad, because all of them were just begging to be favorited without providing any actual value, and people were just like, sure. This is why I don't say like, comment, and subscribe on my main channel. I just see it as like empty, dead air to the people who are already going to do those things, and I don't think it really matters to the people who aren't going to do those things. I mean, I don't care about these numbers because I don't think these numbers really matter in the algorithm, because I think they've realized that the best way to get them is to ask for them.
The fact still remains that most people who watch YouTube, you right now, don't usually like videos or dislike videos. You don't usually comment either. You don't even subscribe half the time, even though creators beg you in the cringiest ways possible.
Watch that back in editing, and I think it might not have been clear enough. For 99.9% of videos you will be recommended on this platform, the dislike bar is going to look like this. That's just a free buffer that every video gets, because it's just the creator's community showing support to the maker of the video. And if that community does have negative feedback, sure, it'll show up in the likes bar, but it'll also show up in the comments and off platform. The like bar has been useless information since the algorithm switched to watch time. Like, the thing I'm most tired of hearing in this discussion is people saying that they used to click into videos just to view the like bar, and if it was good enough, they'd watch the video. Because no, you fucking didn't. Stop lying. This is how the platform works. The platform makes the like bar look like this. It always looked like this. Stop lying! With very rare exceptions, the like bar is usually about 10% of the people subscribed to a creator saying like, and then whatever people 100 dislike it. Obviously, that's said with the understanding that there are edge cases that will be missed, like a tutorial which has a works, doesn't work binary. However, YouTube is such a big platform that I think it is so wrong to expect the entire design of the platform be catered to edge cases that exist just because that's always how it used to be. Like, will you like the new Mr. Beast video? I don't fucking know. But will this like bar underneath it tell you anything about whether you're going to enjoy it or not? Obviously not. Obviously not. However, the dislike button is still there, and as you might have noticed during the story, the ratio of Nazis to normal people disliking the video slowly went down, which I think to me suggests that the dislike button might still have a use, but rather than being as a piece of feedback for the creator, it is a way for the user to give feedback to the algorithm that a video wasn't for them, which is a function that, in contrast to being a piece of feedback to the creator, I do find valuable. Because obviously the middleman between the creator and the audience is the algorithm. And so when someone dislikes a video, oftentimes if they found it on the homepage, which is how most people find videos, it's actually not feedback on the video, it's feedback on the algorithm. Something has slipped in. Allowing the dislike button to be a not for me button in the same way that you can hit don't recommend channel or not interested in this suggestion, I think is something that really helped tailor my audience in the correct direction when I was growing at the beginning stages of my career. Which a way for the user to give negative feedback to the algorithm is something that a lot of social media platforms I feel are really missing. Like when I opened up my brand Instagram account, you should totally go follow me. I don't post anything. I basically gave it my information that I was a young man. And when I decided to waste some time on the app by using the Reels feature, you know, I got out my phone and it was like Tate. And no matter how fast I scrolled away from them, it was still more fucking Tate shit. And then, you know, eventually it got the hint and just decided to show me people fucking dying in car crashes. But it took way too long to get to that point. I guess the point I'm trying to get at is that the thing about user feedback is that it's really only reliable and relevant for that individual user. Going back to this Ludwig video, which again, I think this video is great. The point of Ludwig's video, which I thought was quite clever, was he went to a haircut place and he showed a 5-star review before going and getting a haircut. And then after getting the haircut, he revealed that it was actually the lowest rated haircut place near him. And it was kind of an allegory for how YouTube hiding the dislikes or the negative feedback on a video could obscure good user feedback that would give others caution. After he goes and gets the haircut at the lowest rated place, he actually says that it wasn't bad. Let me pull it up because I don't like to lie.
What I didn't tell you about that barbershop is that it's the worst rated barber in all of Los Angeles. Now, the point of this is not to trash on any of the people who cut hair inside, because honestly, they didn't do that bad. It was like a $20 cut, and I got a $20 cut's worth. It's not the worst haircut I've ever gotten, and in a pinch, I would come back.
And that I think is the point that I want to make with this video. If you ever walked at a dislike count and immediately left a video that wasn't one of those ones that I think having dislikes on really does help, you might have missed a video that you might have liked if other viewers just didn't like it. I think it's okay to retire a system whose only real impact, in my mind, was to push users off of things that they might have actually liked had they been giving them a fair chance. However, that's the whole point of this video, which I'm making like 3 years after the controversy actually happened, is that I don't think it's that bad that they have restored individual feedback to the place that I think it's most impactful, which is the individual. One closing thought. I'm planning on uploading this video, as well as this whole channel, around the time that I upload a project about this video by Joe Routh. It's a TikTok. It's a video I dislike, but I dislike it in a way that clearly escapes the measurement capabilities of the binary feedback system. Some of my favorite videos on this platform are just a long way to say dislike. Like, imagine if HBomberGuy had just disliked all of James Somerton's videos. Videos, by the way, that had an amazing like to dislike ratio from a community that I would really trust. You don't know who dislikes a video and why they dislike it. The measurement is useless without more data to back it up, which is why it's great for an algorithm, but meaningless to you. In the future, I'm planning on releasing a very long video about a channel here on YouTube that I legitimately think needs to be deleted. I'm not going to give you any hints because they seem like the type to send a cease and desist. But going through and disliking all of their videos will never accurately convey my hatred for the way that they have chosen to use their platform. This is the tragedy of the dislike button. In cases where it's truly needed, it's not nearly enough. I'm going to add one final point that I think we all can agree on. The partial biased sample sizes inherent to the return dislike extension, combined with the internet's ability to spread lies, make it worse than having no visible dislikes at all. And if watching this video got you interested in watching the video I made that made the Nazis like so mad, here's a link to it on my main channel. And rather than going there and checking the like to dislike ratio, check the comments first. See what they have to say. Like, they can endorse the video and tell you it's a really fucking good time.